What actually happens if you pass away without a plan? Most people assume that things will just fall into place. A lot of people avoid thinking about death or incapacity because they're scared and they don't want to plan ahead. And they just think that their family is going to figure it out. But I always say that estate planning is not really about you. It's about those that you care about the most, because they are going to be the ones to pick up the pieces. So in this video, I want to take you through 3 hypothetical clients. They are not real people, but here in Colorado, we're going to go through what happens in each case. One will be based on no plan at all. The second scenario will be based on having a will in place. And then the third scenario, we'll talk about having a trust in place. And you will see how those vary and what the family is left to deal with. Now, let's imagine Rosa for a second. Rosa is a single mom. She lives here in Washington Park in a beautiful ranch-style home. She's been divorced for years, and she has 3 little kids living with her. She owns her home. She's the only person on the title. She also owns bank accounts, other retirement accounts, life insurance policy. And then suddenly she suffers a fatal stroke and she passes away. Her next of kin is her sister. The kids are minors, so her sister tries to step in, and she quickly figures out that she cannot access any of Rosa's accounts or her paperwork or any of that. She also is having issues and trouble even finding where Rosa keeps all of the assets. Where's her life insurance? Which company? Where's her 401k? She spends months just trying to locate all of the paperwork. And because there is no named guardians in place, her sister quickly learns that she has to go to probate court, not only to get access to Rosa's accounts and the title to her home and be able to pay her mortgage, but she also needs to go in court to become guardian of her nephews. What happens then? Her sister has to be proving in court that she is well fit to become a guardian. To a court, she's just a stranger. Then Rosa's other family wants to step in and also become guardian. And Rosa's ex-husband, who is not the father of all of her kids, steps in and he wants to become guardian. What happens is that they end up fighting in court for months or even years because Rosa can no longer say who she would have picked if she could speak. The court's going to look at all of them on paper and decide who's better fit to become their new parent. And it may not be the same person as Rosa would have picked. It may not be the same person that the kids would have picked, because they cannot testify in court until they're at least 12 or 13 years old. You can see that this unravels to be a major nightmare. The family is left without any certainty, any access to the accounts, any paperwork. They cannot pay the mortgage. They have to wait through 6 months to a year of court process before anything gets settled and decided. And at the end of the process, it may not be the decision that they really wanted to hear. So the moral of the story is that Rosa had the plans to get her estate planning done. She just kept delaying it like a lot of people do. But when it's too late and you can no longer communicate your wishes, the only person that can make your decisions for you is a probate court judge. Do you really want that for your little kids? I bet nobody would want their kids to go through a nightmare like that. Now, picture this. We have Brian, and he lives here in Inglewood. He's retired. He's 62. He has a beautiful wife, a nice paid-off home that they're very proud of here in Colorado. And he also has retirement accounts, life insurance, some crypto. Again, he never actually made any sort of intentional planning. All he did was he wrote a will 30 years ago when the kids were so little, just to make sure that he appointed guardians. But he never updated that will, and he never actually keeps a list of all of the assets that he owns. He suddenly passes away, and his beautiful wife assumes that everything will just pass on to her. But the reality is that a will still has to go through probate. And if Brian had accounts in his name only, retirement accounts, life insurance, anything else that was just in his name, his wife does not have any right to inherit that until she goes through the probate court. So she starts the probate process, and then she quickly understands that she does not know where Brian's 401k was at or who the beneficiaries on that were. And it takes her months to locate that paperwork. Even with a will, there is no clear guidance on who gets what or even what's included in the estate. And the court, who's a complete stranger again, who has no idea about the deceased person's assets or family dynamics, will have to decide on how to split it up and who to appoint as a personal representative. So in this scenario, Brian did something, but it wasn't enough, because in most situations, a will alone is not enough. Now, let's take Samira as an example. She's a retired nurse. She lives here in Littleton. She also has a beautiful home. She has 2 daughters that are all grown up, but she actually planned and worked with us to create a family trust. And she meets with us every 3 years to update it and make sure that nothing is ever out of date. When Samira tragically passes away, yes, her daughters grieve. They have a very hard time grieving the loss, which is very natural and very normal. But at the very least, they don't have to go to court. They find the binder labeled family trust in Samira's office that has clear instructions on exactly what's in the trust: the home, the bank account, the brokerage account, the crypto, the 401k, the life insurance, Samira's business interests and investments. All of it is properly funded into her trust. And guess what? Because all of the assets are owned by the trust and her daughters have immediate access to all of those accounts, they don't have to go through probate. It's a private, seamless administration of Samira's family trust. Now, in this situation, Samira did more than just think about without planning. She also did more than just signing a basic will without understanding any of the probate implications. She worked with us, an attorney that helped her understand how things actually unravel in each scenario. And her family was the one that went through it in the most efficient and seamless way possible. Now, everything can be avoided if you plan ahead. So now let's just do a side-by-side for clarity. No plan, probate court, the court decides, it takes time and money, assets get lost. If you have a will, it still has to go through probate, and a will does not account for every asset that you own. If you have a trust, you decide it's your way, it's your assets all in one place, seamless, no drama, no money spent, no delay. Now, you might be wondering, what if I have a small estate? In Colorado, anything under 82,000 is considered to be a small estate, and it doesn't have to go through probate. But if you own a home in Colorado, then you obviously are over that small estate exemption, and your family will have to go through probate. Now, that's where we come in. Estate planning is not just about paperwork, it's about years of ongoing guidance while you're still alive to make sure that it's not just a plan for death, it's also a plan for life, making sure that all of your assets are kept securely in one place, that you and your loved ones are very financially organized, and that you plan for every contingency that can ever come up. Again, estate planning is not just about you, it's about the people that you love the most. And estate planning is not just about, I'm going to get to it later. It's about living in the moment, and any given moment, making sure that your assets are all organized, that everything is the way you want it to be, and that it will be distributed to the people that you want it to go to, by the people that you will put in charge. No one else is going to be making your decisions ever. It's you and you alone. If you liked this video and found this useful, please just leave us a like or subscribe for more future educational videos on estate planning.